fine. But since he can't stay long, we'll go ahead and start anyway, and then we'll chime in when they come here. So, oh yeah, let me take off my shoes. So I recommend later on, if you're comfortable taking off your shoes, I recommend it because in some positions, it'll be better for your ankle mobility. But that'll be later, so I don't think you're going to have to worry about that since you have lace-ups. Right. But it also helps strengthen your feet, too, all the muscles of your feet, because in a few poses, we're actually going to try and intentionally press our feet into the ground, and it's a good workout, but it also really strengthens the toes and things like that. So if you're comfortable, of course, if you're not comfortable, don't do it, just like anything today. So my name is Kaylee. If I hadn't already said that, I don't think I had. My name's Kaylee. I'll be the instructor. I've taught for 7 years now, practiced for about 12, love yoga. But again, if anything doesn't serve you, just don't do it, sit it out. So we're going to begin with a little bit of reading here. So this book has a really good explanation to me about yoga movement. It's actually called yoga asana in yoga. So this is a steady, comfortable posture. And today that's going to be in a chair, of course. Asana means the posture that brings comfort and steadiness. Any pose that brings this comfort and steadiness is an asana. If you can achieve one pose, then that is enough. It may sound easy, but in how many positions are we really comfortable and steady? As soon as we sit in a particular position, there's a small cramp here and a tiny pain there. We have to move this way and that. Continuously, we are reminded of our legs, hands, hips, and spine. Unless the body is perfectly healthy and free from all toxins and tensions, a comfortable pose is not easily obtained. Physical and mental toxins can create stiffness and tension. Anything that makes us stiff can also break us. Only if we are supple will we never break. What we need is the strength of steel, but with steel's flexibility, not like crude iron, which is very strong and hard, but breaks. The body must be so supple it can bend any way you want it to, or ideally any way you want it to. Of course, not pretzel yoga today, but... So with that in mind, we're going to find a comfortable seat on the chair, preferably sitting a little bit more forward on the chair so that your ankles are directly underneath the knees if possible. The palms will just rest softly face down on the thighs, and we'll close the eyes with a lengthened spine, sitting upright as best you can. For now, don't worry about pushing the feet in the ground. Just be comfortable and relaxed in this position. And with the eyes closed, take a moment to do a body scan. From head to toe, scan the physical body and notice what sensations come up. Now check in with the mind. How is the mind doing right now? Is it awake, tired, maybe a little bit clearer? How is the mind doing right now? Next, check in with the breath. Without changing it, observe how it feels as it flows in and out. Does it feel forced, shallow, free-flowing? Let all of that go. Inhale, counting to 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Keep going, internally counting each inhale and each exhale. After your next exhalation, breathe normally. Let the breath flow in and out without force or reservation. If you have a personal goal for today's class, like simply just getting some movement, see that goal in your mind now, and then let it go. Softly open the eyes to bring the attention back to the room. So now we'll find a little bit of movement. Very, very simple. We're just going to point the toes to lift the heels off the ground and slowly lower the heels back down. Keep going. Inhale, points. Exhale, lower. You can keep your eyes open or closed, whichever feels comfortable. Sometimes closing the eyes can help us tune into that mindfulness and slow, steady breath. Keep moving with the breath. Each inhale points, each exhale lowers. And now we're going to switch it up a little bit. Now we're just going to kind of lean back to the heel, toes lift, and lower the toes down. Same thing, inhale, toes lift, exhale down. Keep going, finding your own rhythm with the breath. You are the troublemaker, aren't you? Now we're going to kind of interchange. Inhale, point the toes, heels lift. Exhale, lean back to the heels, toes up. Toes point. Exhale, lower, heels down. Keep going, toes, heels. This is just kind of waking up the ankles first. One more round. Okay, and then we'll relax. Next, we'll move on to shoulders. Place the hands on the tops of the shoulders. If you have a problem with mobility, then maybe just sit this one out or try your best. We're going to draw as big of circles we can with the elbows. Might be really small, minuscule ones right now, but over time they might get a little larger. Move nice and slow. We don't need to rush anything. Sometimes we rush through things. Switch directions. Feels good. Get rid of that shoulder tension. I know you make fun of me. I always sigh. It feels so good. All right. Release the arms down. Now we're going to do another simple movement. Arms reach out and up. Inhale. Turn the palms out. Exhale down. Keep going as much as you can, even if it's just this high. And exhale down. Keep going. Everybody's different. One more. And relax. Shake it out if you need to. If anything got tense. All right. Next, we're going to sit back into the chair almost until you feel like you're leaning back even. Really relax now. Next, we're going to interlace our fingers behind the thigh. Now, your thigh might be way down here, and that's okay. But if you can bring the knee a little closer to the chest, leaning back, then do so. You might even give it some pulses if it's still kind of sleepy in the hips and in the knee joint. And now we're going to just leave this leg bent and start circling the toes in one direction to kind of wake up the ankle even further. We're getting close to 10 o'clock. Other direction. Okay, and now slowly release the leg back down and switch sides. So now interlacing the fingers behind left thigh. Start with your pulses first to wake things up. How's everybody doing so far? So far okay? Awesome. And now we'll leave it hugging in and circle the ankle. Other direction. Okay, and relax. We'll sit forward once again. Once again, try and track the ankles underneath the knees if possible. We'll sit upright with a lengthened spine, shoulders down. So next, we're going to extend one leg and leave the foot kind of relaxed. Now, we're going to try and lift the leg up and lower it down. Leave the foot relaxed the whole time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now, if you have a bad knee right now, this might be one where you sit it out because we're strengthening the muscles of the knee a little bit. Okay, now keep the leg lifted if you can, and we're going to bend it and re-extend it. Bend and re-extend. If this is too much going on, you can always interlace the fingers behind the thigh to help it up. Keep going. One more time. And slowly relax the foot back down. Other side. We'll extend the leg first. Lift it up and lower it down. Try and keep the spine lengthened if possible. This will help improve your core strength as well. And now if you can keep it lifted, maybe even with hands behind the thigh, you can start bending and re-extending. You can leave those toes relaxed. Good. And we'll release the foot. Good. All right, now we're going to come into that activation in the legs. Now, if you have to take off at 10, we're getting really close. So you want to go with this next exercise and then take off? Okay. I don't want you to feel rushed, so. I think he did wonderfully. All right, so with our feet underneath the knees again. Oh, keep the palms face down on the thighs. We're just going to gently press the feet into the ground. Now, you might already feel the thighs activate here and maybe even the glutes. Just keep pushing the feet into the ground. It may not seem like much, but you probably already feel this in your thighs and glutes a little bit. If not, push further. But again, try and keep the ankles underneath the knees so you don't hurt your ankle joint too much. Yeah, that's good. Okay, one more little push, even a little harder. And relax the legs, relax the glutes. Do we have somebody else coming? I'm not sure. Oh, good. Next, we'll interlace the fingers, and not for you. Everybody else can place the hands behind the head. I have something different for you. For you, I'm just going to see if you can open your arms like this. Does that feel okay? That looks good. Okay. We're all going to look up if possible, chin away from chest. Inhale. On an exhale, we're going to round the spine. For you, I'd like you to hug yourself. For everybody else, you can just bring the elbows towards each other and let the hands hang heavily on the neck. Next inhale, we'll open the chest. So if you have your hands behind the head, elbows open. And exhale, round. Keep going with your own breath. And it may be very small movements. That's all right. They don't have to be big. Wow, that was quick.
You're so full of
You're distracting us. All right, one more round of breath. Inhale, the heart opens. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, come back to neutral. Release the arms. Okay, good. So now things are a little more warmed up, I think. Does anybody feel like they need more warm-up before we get into more strengthening stuff? Everybody feels good? Awesome. Okay. Yeah, just a few stretches here and there. Now we're going to sit forward even more towards the end of the chair. Of course, don't fall forward. If you feel like you're going to tip the chair forward, then that's too far. So we're going to do an alternative version to tree pose, which is a balancing pose. We're going to extend the right leg with the heel on the ground, toes lifted. Now we'll just turn the left knee out and just let the outer edge of the foot kind of rest. This is it. Hands can come to heart center if you want to try and test your core balance a little bit. If you want to test that even further, you can reach the arms up. Or alternatively, if you want an arm exercise, you can press the palms firmly together. Even if your hands are on heart center, you can push them together, but you get more of an upper arm exercise this way when you really push them together. Keep the breath steady. Try not to hold the breath. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Bring the left foot back to the ground, knee up, and bend the right leg foot to the ground. Other side, left leg extends, toes up. Right knee comes out. Good. Stay here, or hands at heart center, or arms up, maybe even palms pressing hard. I know I'm that sighing person. I love it. Feels so good to sigh it out. One more inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Bring the right foot back to the ground. Left leg bends, foot to the ground. Now we'll sit back just a hair on the chair so we have a little more stable seat. Heel toe the feet out towards the sides. Maybe this is wide as they go. Maybe you can turn the knees out even further, just as wide as is comfortable. Wow, you guys have some open hips. I'm really impressed. You guys have been doing your hip openers. It's the torso area for you, huh? So you have a strong core. So right here, we'll just start with the palms face down on the thighs. Try and find that lengthened spine again, like the crown of the head's reaching upward and the shoulders are melting down. So this might be where you stay. Try and keep the gaze forward if possible. And if you want to take more core exercise, then you can reach the arms out, palms facing forward. And now we'll kind of reach one side and then the other. Reach the other side. Come back. So this might be where you stay for a few breaths. Inhale one way. Exhale center. So if you want to stay here, that's fine. If you have more mobility and flexibility, you can bring one forearm down to the thigh, top arm up. And switch directions. Other forearm down, top arm up. This will give you a side body stretch. Continue with whatever movement suits you and try and find a steady breath. You might even just be right here at center, and that's all right. And we'll come back up, arms out. We're going to hold this for a couple more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one in. And exhale, release the arms if they're still up. We're going to heel toe the feet back to hips width and just take a little mini break for a second. Let the thighs relax. They've been working hard in that position. And while we're taking a break, I'm going to review my notes so I don't forget anything.
So you've been doing this for 12 years?
Yes, practicing yoga for 12 years. Chair yoga, not as long. Chair yoga has been about 10, I would say. The first couple of years it was pretzel yoga stuff. But I love yoga. It's my passion.
Do you go to any more senior centers in Yadkin?
Not yet. I have one next week in Yadkinville. I have one there on Friday next week. And it's another free one like this. So we're going to see if they want to continue on as well. The test run. Okay. All right, this next pose I think is going to be a little bit too challenging, so I think I'm going to skip what I have next. I'm going to skip that one. We're going to do something different now. We're going to come back with our seat forward on the chair enough to bring the ankles underneath the knees again. Now, for some of you, you might just stay with the feet pressing in the ground like we did earlier to activate the thighs and such. If you have lots of strength in the legs and your knee is not hurting, so if you have bad knees, stay here. Otherwise, if you want to try and lift your seat up into a chair pose, you'd come up lifting your bum away from the chair, trying to sit up and then back down. Yep, good. Keep your legs bent. Try and imagine that you're trying to slowly sit back down on the chair. Okay, now sit back down, arms down, press the feet down wherever you are. Okay, and if you're going to do that again, you can come with me or just keep pushing the feet in the ground continuously as long as you can. If you're coming with me, inhale, arms reach forward and up. Try and hover the seat. And exhale, slowly lower back down. Good. Yeah, she did great. Look at her. You guys all did great, I thought. Oh, there you go. Yeah. It looks like you're active. I mean, you got your bum off the chair, so look at that. Oh, somebody else coming? All right, well, anyways, we'll continue on, and if they'll join us, then they can. So now we're going to bring our chin to the chest. Let the head and neck hang. Palms can be face down on the thighs. And now slowly start to bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then drop the chin back to the chest. Left ear to left shoulder. And drop it back down. So we're just doing like this little swivel-like motion. A very small movement to stretch out and wake up the neck. If this is enough, stay like this. If you don't have any cervical issues in the upper neck, then you can start by drawing big circles, complete circles with the head hanging back. Continue rocking back and forth or doing your circles. And next time the chin comes to the chest, switch directions with the circles if you're doing those. Otherwise, keep going with that half moon shape. Oh, that's good. Chin to the chest. We'll bring the head back to neutral. That's good. Somebody got some neck tension out then. Well, we have more neck stretches coming. So we'll reach the right arm forward and up. Inhale. Exhale, bend the arm. Grab a hold of the left ear. So for you, you can just keep doing those rocking back and forth motions. Yeah. For us, we're going to bring the right ear closer towards the right shoulder if possible. We're going to feel that neck space open. If this is enough, stay. If you want more, you'll bring the left hand to the top of the left shoulder and encourage it to come down to open the neck space even more. Last option to take it further would be to extend the left arm out and reach the fingertips down actively. Don't let the hand be lazy if you're doing that. And yep, I was just going to say, you could still do that with your arm, even though you're not grabbing a hold of the ear. That's perfect. Keep reaching with those fingers. And if you're reaching with the fingers with me, now we're going to just reach the fingertips forward or back to find nooks and crannies that need popping. I already heard another. And we'll bring it back to center-ish and release the head back to neutral. Good. Yep, shake it out if needed. Other side. Left arm reaches forward and up. Exhale, bend the arm. Hand to right ear this time. Tilting the head over to the left. Optional right hand to the right shoulder, opening that space up. And you can extend the right arm out, fingertips down, if you decided to do that last time. Again, really reach with the fingertips. A lot of the times I see people having lazy hands. Try and actively reach so the hands are doing yoga too. Try and keep the gaze directly forward or even slightly up. And now we'll reach the right hand either forward or back to find those nooks and crannies that need attention. Now reach that right arm out to the right. Bring the head back to neutral, arms down. And one more time, we'll bring the chin to the chest, and we'll just do those half moon shapes. So even if you did circles last time, you can just come back to half moon this time. Circling back and forth. Yeah, good. Chin to the chest. Bring the gaze back up to center to a neutral position. All right, side body stretch next. So for this one, if you can grab the seat of your chair, you can grab it. But for me, you probably see that I already kind of tilted to grab it because I have short limbs. So if you feel like you're tilting to grab it, then you can just place your hand on your thigh for this. Otherwise, we'll reach the left arm up and over. If comfortable, you can lean some of that weight into that right hand for a side body stretch. Just like last time though, try and keep those fingers really active. And yep, you can just do that again because you're not going to be able to reach your arm up. And actually, it might even feel okay to bring this back arm bent behind the back. Yeah, back of the hand touch. That's another good option to still stretch right here. Next inhale, we'll all come back up. Release the arm. Inhale, right arm reaches either forward and up. Think up and over if you're doing this version, or if that kind of hurt your shoulder last time, you can bend the arm behind the back. Back of the hand will be against your low back. Inhale, don't forget the breath. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale back to center. Release the arm if it's up. And shake out the arms a little bit. Loosey-goosey. Let your flower child come out. Take up movement. Swing arms. Yeah, get moving. There you go. And relax. Whew. Good job, everyone. So the next thing we'll do is extend left leg this time. Heel down. And if just extending the leg stretches out the hamstring enough for you, then stay like this. Otherwise, we'll also extend right leg. Again, if this is enough, stay here. If you're comfortable with your balance here, you can start sliding the hands down the legs. But again, you might feel your seat kind of move forward. So if you're not comfortable, bring the hands up the thighs a little more. If you're comfortable bringing the hands down closer to the shins, do so. Wherever you are, let the head and neck release. We hold it up all day. Just let it relax. You might even give it a loose shake, yes and no, wherever you are, even if it's just palms on the thighs, chin to chest. And slowly we'll come back up to seated. Now we'll bend the legs, feet to the ground, and widen them out just a hair. Not super wide. Yeah, just about that wide. Yeah, looks good. Sit back in your chair a little more. That way you don't slide forward too much here. If that last pose was available, you can hang the arms and hang the head and neck here. Feel like ragdoll here. Arms are super loose now. Now the hands aren't doing yoga. Now everything is just like dead weight. Even the head and neck. You might even loosely shake it yes and no to remind it to really hang heavily. One more inhale. Exhale, sigh out the mouth. We'll actually take one more like that. Inhale through the nose. And really make some noise. Exhale, sigh it out. Nobody's looking at you. One more. That wasn't loud enough. Inhale. Exhale. Next inhale, we'll slowly rise back up. Oh, good. One more time, I'm going to review my notes. I think we're getting close to the end. Oh, okay. Good to know. Because we'll be in Savasana in there, so you might startle you awake. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's what I heard. That's why we had to move the class when we rescheduled it. I was like, can't have that. Maybe miss bingo. All right, so once again, we'll sit forward on the chair a little bit. Again, try and bring your ankles underneath the knees. We're going to do a little bit of a twist, so move as much as you're willing. The left hand's going to come to the outside of the thigh, start, or if you have the mobility, you can reach for the chair, but again, my limbs are short, so I can't grab the chair here. The right hand is going to come to the back of the chair if you can grab it. If you can't, you can just bring it down to the seat of the chair onto your fingertips. Try and keep length in the spine wherever you are. You might not be twisting a lot. Again, that's okay. Some movement's better than none. If you can do it with your head and neck, start to try and look over that right shoulder, turning the neck a little more, turning the head more. Inhale, try and find a little more length in the spine. Exhale allows you to wring out any tension. Inhale, slowly come back to center. Okay, other side. Now right hand comes to the outside of the thigh or to the chair if it was available. Left fingertips down to the seat of the chair or grab a hold of that back end of the chair. Inhale, lengthen spine. You might even press the feet into the ground a little. Exhale, twist, wringing it out. You might even use the back of the chair as leverage to help you twist. Inhale. I think you guys are having fun. That's good. Inhale, come back to center.
Come on, land about that.
Oh, right? Right. All right, we just have a couple more. Good. That's wonderful. I love swinging the arms. That's my favorite thing to do. It just feels so good, so loose.
Arm feels good.
Good. Now we're going to come into a little bit of a hip opener. So it's going to be an outer hip opener for most of us, but if you have knee issues, I'm going to give you something different to do in a minute. So for those of us who don't have knee issues, we're going to interlace our hands behind the back of the right thigh to hug it in. If this is enough, you can stay like this, just pulsing again. Or you can use your hands to help the outer ankle rest on the top of the thigh. And again, that might not be available to everybody, especially if your knees hurt here. Place the hands down onto the leg, and this is probably where you're going to stay, but if you have lots of space, feel free to hinge forward to your own degree, using your hands on the leg to kind of brace yourself. So if you had those knee issues and this is not good, is this good or this is okay? Okay, well then we'll just stay here. I won't even tell you the other thing, then I won't confuse you.
I don't know about Becky, but mine's hard.
Good. Yeah. Tight, huh? Now we're going to tune back into the breath. Now we're coming into that more cool down type of vibe. So we'll close the eyes. You can let the head and neck hang if you're folding forward. And really tune back into that breath. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. Oof.
Breathe too deep.
Uh-oh. Next inhale, we're going to slowly rise back up if you're folding. Now, don't uncross your legs yet. I'd like you to use your hands to help uncross the legs so you don't irritate your hips and legs too much. Then you can bring that foot down. Good. All right. Now we're going to do just a little bit of movement in the legs. Heel toe the feet out a little bit and just kind of shake the knees side to side, loosey-goosey. Just kind of massage that out a little bit. There you go. Yeah. I guess because it feels good in the hips and the legs. Heel toe the feet back to hips width distance, and we'll switch sides if that's available too, depending on the knee. If it's not available, you could always try bringing the outer edge of the foot down to the ground with the inner edge close to the bottom foot. Sometimes that even is enough to kind of open that up. Otherwise, we'll hug, the other side, hug the left knee in. And when you're ready, use the hands to help cross that outer ankle to the top of the thigh. Ooh, maybe hands just stay on the legs, seated upright. Maybe you can hinge forward over time. Yeah. It's good. It does feel good to move a little bit.
What was that other girl we had to come and we did exercise in the chair? Natalie. We ain't done that in a long time.
Oh, really?
Something else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it yoga?
It takes.
I think she.
Okay.
Did she move up on the totem pole?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she went to the position of
Oh.
Nice.
And Alan threw me in that position to do it. Giving up his eye.
All right, we're going to take... I am too. Montana all the way. All right, next inhale, we'll come back up. Slowly with the hands, we'll uncross the leg. Take your time. And if you want to do that little mobility movement again, the feet will heel toe a little bit wider, and then you can just kind of sway the knees side to side, open and closed. She's like, this feels too good. I'm staying here. That must have been mean you like what you were doing. That's usually what I tell people. It means you were meant to be there.
Wouldn't think this was polite.
I'm having fun, actually. It's probably the most fun I've had in a while. Usually people are just like zombies looking at me.
No telling what we'll say.
I like it, though.
Let you play bingo with us.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
We say B-I-N-G-O. It's Ruth.
Good prizes.
Awesome.
Lots of candy.
Oh, I like it.
Chocolate. Chocolate.
I like chocolate.
Ooh, I do too.
Oh, yeah. All right, next time we take an exhale, we'll bring the knees back to kind of stillness. Now we're going to come into the more relaxing, calming pose. This is usually known as Savasana at the end of a practice. And typically, this is where we lay on our back on the floor, but because we're doing chair yoga, we'll sit in our chair. But now I know it's going to be hard for you guys because I've had a lot of fun chatting. But this one usually is one where we stay quiet for a few minutes to try and calm the mind a little bit, to revisit our breath. And the reason why the breath is so important is because the biggest problem actually in America, studies have found, is that people are shallowly breathing, which makes them stressed because you're not getting as much oxygen and blood flow to the brain. You're limiting it when you do that. And so when we do this pose or Shavasana, it lets us really focus in on our inhales, bringing in more oxygen and blood flow to the brain and body. And it'll help you feel more relaxed and a little bit more, I call it organizing my thoughts, where I can think of one thing at a time instead of everything all over the place floating around. So, yeah, the floating, so easy, especially these days with all the stuff that we have available to us. So I like what you're doing. I don't know if you're copying me or what, but I'm just using hand gestures. The hugs. Yeah? Really? You're moving pretty well. Yeah, that's great. I think everybody's doing a good job. I like what you're doing here. I like the movement.
The shallow breathing is what we're doing.
All right, so now we're going to sit back into the chair, kind of like we did earlier. You can just kind of relax the shoulders. And then bring the hands on the thighs with the palms facing upwards this time. In yoga, that's a gesture of receiving, whether that be receiving relaxation, receiving what comes your way through the day. Close the eyes if they're not already. Soften all the muscles of the face, If there's any expression remaining in the face, just let that wash away. Soften the jaw. Maybe even sway it side to side or stretch the mouth open to make O's and E's. That'll stretch out the corners of the mouth. Then allow the mouth to fully relax, might even be slightly open. Relax the cheeks down away from the eyes. Forehead relaxes. Eyebrows relax. Even eyes behind the eyelids relax. We'll take a few moments of silence. That was funny.
We'll be so relaxed we'll be falling out of it.
Right? That was pretty funny.
Sorry.
Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Bring small movements back to the fingers, maybe even the toes, wrists and ankles. And if they're not already, softly open the eyes to return back to the space. All right. Hope you guys liked it. You don't want to come back? You hated it? Oh, I thought you said don't want to come back.